Welcome to the 2020 Art Extravaganza, Stokes County Schools. Welcome to this area. This is to show the resilience of our students during this COVID-19 crazy year. They did absolutely fantastic. I hope all of you can come and visit at some point in time. And there's a lot of variety from all three schools, North Stokes, South Stokes, and West Stokes. So come and see how talented our students in Stokes County are.
Hi, I'm the art teacher at West Stokes. My name is Gatlin Hyatt. We've got about 20 pieces in the art show from West Stokes High School, which is super exciting, especially during the year of COVID. A lot of our pieces this semester, at least from my classes, from Art 1 all the way up into Art Advanced Portfolio, most of them in lower level arts are doing smaller scales because a lot of our students, majority of them, have been learning totally remote Plan C, and just recently have come back to school, a lot of them. So haven't received a ton of artwork because a lot of students are still at home, but the ones that we've got are super incredible, as well as a shout out to those that are still at home. So a lot of our pieces stemmed from this semester, our own visual culture, talking about self, but also having a lot of freedom in what students were creating, especially during a time that doesn't really allow a lot of freedom, right, during a pandemic. So thinking about that, thinking about how important it is to just sit down and create. And so that's what we've been learning. Art 1s have been focusing on value. Art 2s have been doing some mixed media. Art 3s and 4s have been doing some sculpture pieces, and advanced portfolio has been doing concentration pieces and skill sets. So I hope you enjoy the exhibit and all that my students have been creating this year. They're awesome, amazing, just like all the pieces here. So yeah, thanks so much.
Hello, welcome to the virtual high school art extravaganza exhibit. Come on down and see it. We have some great artworks for you to look at. I am very proud of my student artwork. I invite you to come on down and have a look. It's amazing.
Good evening, my name is Eddie McGee, and I'm the Executive Director of the Stokes County Arts Council. Since 1975, the Stokes County Arts Council has provided high-quality cultural arts experiences to the residents of Stokes County, North Carolina. And that's thanks to our member supporters and our donors. April is a special month for our organization because that is the month when we celebrate the young artists of Stokes County. And this celebration includes our annual Arts Extravaganza exhibit in the Ben and Lena Apple Gallery. And we continue the celebration with the announcement of our annual scholarship award winners. And I'm so proud tonight to announce that we have 3 outstanding students who will be receiving scholarships. We do want to encourage the public to visit the Ben and Lena Apple Gallery and the Arts Place the month of April to view the exhibit and support the students. We also would like to offer a special thank you to who we consider the best public high school art faculty in the state of North Carolina. And that includes Ms. Janice Henderson Hunsucker at North Stokes, Mr. Phil Jones at South Stokes, and Ms. Gavin Hyatt at West Stokes. And I know I didn't mention band members and choir and theater, but they're just as exemplary. And so we thank them throughout the year for their support. And at this time, I'm going to introduce our Visual Arts Committee Chair, and that's Ms. Amanda Gordon, who is a former Scholarship Award recipient of the Stokes County Arts Council, and she will announce our Scholarship Award winners for this year. Amanda?
Thank you. I am Amanda Adams Gordon, the Visual Arts Chairperson. I'm a local art teacher and artist, and I've been teaching for 17 years and served on the Arts Council for about 17 years. I was also a recipient of an Arts Council scholarship, as I am also a product of Stokes County Schools. It is my honor to introduce to you this year's scholarship recipients. First of all, congratulations to William Nate Hundley. He is the recipient of a $1,500 scholarship. Nate resides in King. He is the son of William Hundley and Kelly Norman. Nate is a student of West Stokes High School and has been accepted to attend the University of North Carolina at Greensboro in the fall to major in musical performance with a focus on the trumpet. He's been active in school and community bands and ensembles over the years. Nate has excelled musically as well as academically. His teachers describe him as a leader and a student with good character. Congratulations again, Mr. William Nate Hundley, and we wish you well in your future endeavors as you represent Stokes Arts.
We're here tonight with Nate Hundley, a graduate of West Stokes High School and recipient of a Stokes Arts Scholarship for $1,500. So Nate, how was your time at West Stokes in the art program there?
It was a really awesome experience, just having so many opportunities to branch out into different genres of music with the 2 concert band programs, jazz band, marching band especially. It really helped me to fall in love with music and the arts and put me on the path that I am today of going into trumpet as a career.
Awesome. So did you become interested in trumpet more in high school?
Yeah. Middle school band, it was more like, I'm just there to kind of have fun with my friends and everything. But about halfway through my freshman year is when I really started to enjoy it and really wanted to be good at it and started practicing every day and, started working toward what I wanted and knew I wanted to do that for the rest of my life.
And your future plans?
I'm not sure specifically. I will be super happy with anything involving trumpet. I just really want to make a living playing trumpet. I'm going to spend the next few summers doing some drum corps, finish up college, maybe go to grad school after that. We'll see what happens.
And you're going to go to college at UNCG?
Yes.
All right. Music program there. Well, thank you, Nate, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to Jaden Weevil. He is the recipient of a $1,500 scholarship. Jaden resides in Germantown. He is the son of David and Athena Weevil. Jaden is a student at South Stokes High School and will attend the University of North Carolina at Charlotte in the fall, where he intends to major in architecture. Jaden has been active in school, community, church groups, clubs, and organizations. He's also excelled academically as well as in his artistic endeavors. Jaden's teachers describe him as a leader and an exceptional student who makes the most of his time to accomplish many projects and endeavors. Congratulations again, Mr. Jaden Weevil. May you continue to make an impact on the world around you as you pursue your goals and represent Stokes Arts and Stokes County Schools.
Well, congratulations again, Jaden, on your scholarship award there, $1,500.
Thank you.
And you're a student at South Stokes, going to be graduating, and your plans after graduation are to do what?
I plan on going to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte to major in architecture.
Awesome, that is really great. And how did you become interested in the arts and architecture?
I probably have to go back to whenever I was a kid. I really like playing with Legos a lot, and I really enjoyed just putting things together and all that. And then whenever I got into high school, my art teacher, Mr. Jones, really helped me just like develop my eye and like keen like interest in architecture and like designing stuff. And he really helped me like prepare my portfolio and everything for school.
Awesome. And did you have Mr. Jones throughout your 4 years in high school?
Yes, I had him. I had him 3 years. I started taking art as a sophomore.
Oh, great. And I know he's going to be retiring this year, so it's awesome that you were able to have Mr. Jones as your teacher. He's been a part of our Arts Council board for a few years as well. And so after college, what are your aspirations to do some architecture design or?
I don't know if I've gotten that far yet.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go into the architecture field, and also possibly thinking about architectural engineering. Has been thinking about that recently as well.
Wonderful. Well, the sky's the limit, and thank you for being a part of the Stokes County Arts Council and applying for your scholarship, and congratulations and good luck in college.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Kendall Willard. She is the recipient of a $2,000 scholarship. Kendall resides in Walnut Cove. She's the daughter of David and Tracy Willard. Kendall is a student at South Stokes High School, and for the fall, she has her choice of the top 5 art and design schools in the nation. She has decided to attend the Rhode Island School of Design to major in painting with a career goal to become an art professor. Kendall has excelled athletically, academically, and especially artistically. During her senior year alone, she won 8 gold keys and 1 silver key regionally, as well as 2 gold keys and 1 silver key nationally. Kendall's teachers described her as smart, creative, and talented. Congratulations, Miss Kendall Willard. We wish you well as you continue your scholastic and artistic journey and continue to make us proud at Stokes Arts.
Congratulations. Welcome back this evening. We're with Kendall Willard now, a graduate of South Stokes. Congratulations on your $2,000 Stokes Arts Scholarship, and thanks for applying this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so, how did you become interested in the arts?
So I've been doing art ever since I could hold a crayon. So being in high school and having such a great teacher has really pushed me to further myself in arts and go beyond that and go to college for it.
Wow. I know you have played some sports along the way. Which sports did you play?
I've played soccer since I was 6 years old, and then I've been playing volleyball since I was in 8th grade.
That's amazing. Keeping up with the arts and winning some gold keys this year. Congratulations on all of that. And so now after high school, you're going to be attending college in Rhode Island. Tell us a little more about that.
So I had 5 different choices for my college, and my top 2 were Parsons School of Design and Rhode Island School of Design. I decided on RISD because I felt like it was a more better fit for me and had a lot more traditional arts rather than graphic design and non-traditional, more modern arts.
Wow, that is great to be able to get one of your top 5 choices there. And so I know it's a long way out, but after college, you're going to be creating more art and maybe doing exhibit shows here in Stokes County? Or what are some future plans that you might be thinking of?
Well, for a career, I would like to become an art professor and get my master's and my doctorate because I feel like I would like to further not only myself, but teach other people to love art and to learn to master it itself. So.
Well, that is great. And great best of luck to you in the future in all your endeavors, and thanks for being a part of the Stokes County Arts Council.
Thank you.
Wow, Amanda, I never would have thought I'd run into you here at the Apple Gallery in Danbury.
Tori, what are you talking about? We do this every month. Where have you been?
Daydreaming, I guess, about all of this art that is on display here from the Stokes County High School students.
I know. Even through all the challenges we've been through this year, I am so impressed at the quality of art in this annual Spring Arts Extravaganza.
There must be 200 pieces hanging on the wall. I don't even know how we're going to get through this virtual opening. How many people are we going to have in here tonight?
Well, hopefully we're going to have hundreds and thousands virtually online.
I hope so too. Be sure to grab a snack, your favorite drink, and sit back so we can watch this awesome display and hear from the students that have their artwork here.
There's artwork from North Stokes High School students, West Stokes High School students, South Stokes High School students. There are drawings, paintings, photography. I can't wait to see this show.
Where's East Stokes?
East Stokes. Is that part of your daydreaming?
Must be. Hey, this show is open all the way through the end of April in historic downtown Danbury. Be sure to stop into the Arts Place and check out the Apple Gallery from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. on weekdays, 10 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock on Saturday, and 1 to 5 on Sunday. And, you know, they might want to get a treat from Rockies.
Absolutely. Coffee, ice cream, everything you get is fantastic.
Sit back and enjoy.
By the way, you're Tory Mabe, our Vice President.
That's right. That's me. I'm daydreaming again.
And I am Amanda Gordon, the Visual Arts Chair. Thank you for joining us. I'm here with Sarah Schubert from North Stokes High School. Welcome to the Apple Gallery, Sarah.
Yes, thank you for having me here.
So, have you exhibited your art before?
I have. It was, I think, sophomore year. We had some stuff in here from North.
So you're a senior, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what are your plans for next year?
My plan is to go to Forsyth Tech and then transfer over to NC State for horticulture.
Oh, nice. So you're interested in horticulture and you're an artist.
Yes, that's right.
What other hidden skills and talents do you have?
I crochet things and I have them here at the Arts Place.
Awesome. And you just sold a few pieces.
That's right.
Congratulations.
She works here too.
Yes.
Oh,
Also
you
volunteer, yeah.
Nice. So we're here with a few of your pieces that you have in the show. Tell us a little bit about how you plan the pieces, what statement you're trying to make, what you learned, that sort of thing.
Well, these right here, these collages, our art teacher wanted us to have similar colors. Like, obviously this one has the blue and this one has the orange. I had fun taking all those pictures and putting them together.
Sounds great. And then, is this a digital?
That's
art?
a digital, yes.
Okay.
It's mirrored. I drew it and then it's mirrored.
Okay, that looks great.
Yeah.
And it has a quality sort of like etching or printmaking.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have another photograph.
Yes,
down
that
here.
is my cat Pepper. He's so photogenic. He loves to sit at my bathroom sink, and that one was just for fun.
So it seems like your art is mostly focused on photography. Do
Yes.
you do other things other than the crocheting?
Yes, I like also to draw, but I like photography the best.
Sure. So if you had to give a message to a future student artist or an incoming freshman to North, what would you tell them?
Take as many art classes as you want, or as you can. I enjoyed it a lot. But if it's not your thing, that's okay. Art is not for everybody, but.
And of course, this has been an unusual year.
Oh, yeah.
Junior year and then senior year. So what have been some of your challenges going through COVID?
It's been hard doing the online classes. It's hard doing artwork and showing it to the teacher and stuff. But you overcome it. It's not too difficult, but it's definitely a struggle.
And I would imagine you probably learned some life skills this year that are going to prepare you for college and then for
Yes,
real world.
definitely.
And I like what you said, you've overcome, and you can obviously see that in the pieces and in this whole show.
Yes.
Thanks again for being with
Yes,
us,
thank
Sarah.
you so much.
It was nice to meet you.
Yes.
Give elbow
Elbow
bumps. I'm here with Jaden Weevil from South Stokes. Welcome to the Apple Gallery.
It's nice to be here.
Have you exhibited your work before?
I haven't. This is the first time.
So congratulations. I know there's many artists and even art teachers that haven't exhibited their work, so this is quite a feat for a senior.
Thank you.
So talk to me a little bit about your journey in art in high school or even before.
I started taking art classes my sophomore year with Art 1, and then I really liked it. I really loved my teacher, Mr. Jones, and so I just decided to take Art 2 my junior year, and then this year, my senior year, I took Art 3 3D, Art 3 2D, and Art Portfolio Advanced.
Wow, that's a busy artist. So I see the connection to your interest in architecture and this piece, and I know you have 3 other pieces. So tell me a little bit about this design.
So this picture, or this piece, came from an inspiration of a picture I took whenever I was in England the summer of my junior year. I was able to go on a trip, and this is a Windsor Castle, and I just really loved how all these bricks in the picture were just so many different colors from age and the lighting and everything, and so I really just wanted to display that, and then as I zoomed in, just get more and more detail and put more graphic elements into it.
Do you often work from a photograph or from visiting a place?
Yes.
And so when did you specifically decide you're going to head toward architecture? I mean, did you start out doing more traditional type drawing, that sort of thing?
This was one of the first pieces where I sort of started homing in on my architecture and everything and started thinking about it. I did this one the spring of my junior year, and so this was with Corona and everything, and we were, the last day of school, we were just Mr. Jones just gave us an idea, just do whatever you want. I mean, there's no classes really, and so I just started doing this on our quarantine.
Speaking of quarantine, it's been an unusual couple of years. So what have been some of your challenges as a student, and then what have been some of your successes through those challenges?
Some of the challenges have definitely been not being in class the entire year, just struggling to get all the materials I might need, driving to school someday to pick up something, and just not being able to communicate with Mr. Jones on a one-on-one level and having to do it through a computer is just really tough. Thankfully, whenever we had been gone all back in line, or all back in school, we've just been able to bounce ideas off of each other in class, and he's able to come up to our work and help us critique everything every single day.
That sounds great. And so I see that this is a drawing with architecture. Have you explored some of the digital tools for drawing and creating?
I haven't yet.
Not yet. So, and then next year you're going to UNC Charlotte, is
Yes.
that correct?
That's correct.
So, well, congratulations again. I know you're one of our scholarship recipients.
Thank you.
If you had to give some advice to a future artist, a future student artist, what would you tell them?
I would definitely say start early. Don't wait till later in your high school career to start taking art classes and everything. I really wish I started freshman year. That way, these past few years, I could have taken even more art classes.
Sure. And we're going to look at one more of your pieces. Talk to us a little bit about this design, how it's similar or even different.
So this design idea came from my involvement with the Order of the Arrow, which is the Scouting National Honor Society. And the Order of the Arrow does a lot with American Indian affairs and just preserving the traditions of the Native American. And this is actually a dancer. We do a lot of dancing and everything. I myself am a dancer, but this is not me. But I really just wanted to just get a picture with their regalia with all their ribbons and everything, and I really liked how this turned out, and again zoomed in onto the picture to get more and more detail, and then on this last one I wanted to add in different American Indian designs.
It's very interesting that even though both these pieces are completely different subject matter, and really this has nothing to do with architecture, there's similar textures and designs and use of color. So where do you sort of see your artistic skill connecting to your use of color, and where do you see art and design sort of splitting for you, or do you think they're all totally connected?
I feel like they're really connected. I mean, I could just look at this and these are all most of the same colors, along with the other piece. There were a lot of the same colors used.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for being here with us. Congratulations on your successes through high school, your scholarship, and best of luck in the future. I'm here with Anastasia Tinia from North Stokes High School. Welcome to the Apple Gallery.
Thank you for having me.
Is this your first time exhibiting your work?
Here, yes.
Oh, where else have you exhibited your art?
At my old school in New Jersey. I used to have an art show yearly, so we had some good pieces there. There's a county thing, I think we did. So it was a big art show.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So your pieces in this exhibit, are they mostly photography?
Yes.
Tell us about this piece.
The object of, or the point of the project was to just take pictures of the snow. So I just went for a walk in the backyard and I said, that looks pretty cool how it's dripping but it's frozen. So I said, you know what, that's a cool picture.
Sure. You did a really good job with the composition, getting that diagonal in there, sort of having the focus on the foreground and then the blurred background. And you're right. Really focusing on those dots is fantastic. Have you always been interested in photography, or do you do other types of artwork?
I like other types of art, but photography has been one of the main ones. My mom likes taking pictures, so she's been an inspiration for that.
Sure. So you said you used to live out of state. How long
Yes.
have you been in North Carolina?
Since the end of October.
So you've been in Stokes County since the end of October, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So talk to me a little bit about your experience in the art department at North.
It's a lot smaller than where I came from, so it was a culture shock, but it's great. Miss Henderson is the sweetest woman I know, and she's willing to help with everything, and she's always there. Do you need help with anything? Do you want me to show you how to do this? I'm always willing for advice and tips on how to make my art better, so it's great.
Sounds good. So we all know this has been kind of an unusual year. What have been some challenges going to school and creating art during this time?
Well, definitely meeting new people, especially after the move. So I had to make some new friends and figure out who's who. But with artwork, I think it's all been the same. I don't think much has affected that.
And then, what are some things you could say that maybe you've learned or some new skills that you've developed during this time?
I've definitely learned how to work on pencil paper drawings. They've become a lot more realistic than they used to be. So that's one of the things I'm hoping will get even better than they did now.
So how long have you been studying art or consider yourself an artist?
Since I was really little, I like to color and draw. That was one of the main things I like doing. So since 4 or 5, I would say.
And if you had to give advice to maybe a younger sibling or a young art student or even a freshman coming into high school, what would you tell them?
The little things don't matter. It's the overall picture. So one little tiny mistake in your artwork, you're going to be the only person that knows that. But just make sure you put your heart and soul into it, because if not, it's just going to be something you don't really care for.
Sure. And one thing that we've noticed with all the student artists and scholarship recipients that we've interviewed, creative people are very well rounded. So what are some other things that you do besides art?
I like writing. Science is my favorite subject in school, so I'm a very big science person. I'm hoping to go for a doctorate in college. So very broad spectrum.
Sounds great. Are you involved in clubs or extracurriculars?
We haven't had much of a choice so far, but student government and National Honor Society so far.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for
Welcome
having
to
me.
the Apple Gallery.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Apple Gallery, Kendall.
Hi.
So I'm here with Kendall Willard from South Stokes High School. Kendall is one of our scholarship recipients and quite an accomplished student artist. So Kendall, you were just telling me you don't actually have your art pieces in the show yet. And why is that?
So I have 8 of my pieces down at the Mint Museum for the Scholastic Show. So this year I won 2 Gold Key Portfolio Awards and 6 individual Gold Key Awards, as well as 2 Silver Key Awards.
So when we said you're accomplished, we weren't kidding.
Yeah.
So your artwork should be back this week, and it will be on display for the rest of the month for your friends, family, and all of our patrons to see. So congratulations on all those awards.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit more about your artistic journey. When did you get interested in art, and how have you seen your skills improve over the years?
Well, I've been interested in art ever since I was little, but I've really taken it more seriously as I've gotten into high school and had a teacher that has really pushed me to do my best and make a cohesive portfolio.
That sounds fantastic. And so what is your medium of choice?
I really enjoy painting, but I definitely am not shy to mix with other mediums, and I've experimented with embroidery, linoleum cutting, stuff like that.
And what kind of paint is your favorite?
Oil paint.
Wow. So you're a traditionalist.
Yes.
So do you explore watercolor and acrylic as well?
Yes, but oil is definitely my favorite.
So how do you feel about the time it takes for it to dry and planning for that?
I like it because I'm someone that takes a lot of time with my pieces, and I like to layer and add very, very small details to it. So having that time to be able to do that is definitely helpful.
Sure, that sounds fantastic. What sizes are your pieces usually?
Usually they're about like 13 by 14, like not huge, but like a good size, just so I can get those details as I can.
And do you tend to paint more realistic or abstract?
I would say more like surrealistic. That's definitely what I would consider my style is close to. But I definitely like to mix different styles of art. So my like ideal style mix would be like Renaissance traditional art, but with surrealistic ideas.
Wow, that sounds interesting. So we all know that this has been an unusual couple of years. What have been some of the challenges you've had to overcome? And obviously you've had many successes. So what have you learned from those challenges?
It's definitely been hard to find motivation to keep going in art because being in the environment of the art room, it definitely pushes me to do work, but being at home by myself, it's hard to find that willpower to start a piece and finish it. But I've just learned that I have to take everything as it goes, and Mr. Jones always tells me, how do you eat an elephant? So how do you deal with your problems? You take one bite at a time. So that's how I have learned to handle things and work with challenges.
And so if you had to give advice to a new student artist, a young artist, or even a freshman, what would you give them?
Practice definitely makes perfect, and learning the basics of art and technique is super, super important. Gosh. And then building up your style and your ideas and creativity comes along with that.
So I guess you're excited about college.
Yes.
And you're going to
Rhode Island School of Design.
So how do you, I'm sure you visited there, is that correct?
I haven't actually, but I've done virtual tours because of COVID, so. Yeah.
Sure. So how do you think Rhode Island is going to compare to North Carolina?
It's definitely a lot different because Providence is a very large city and very northern, so a lot of different ideas and architecture and surroundings and stuff like that. So.
Wow.
Well, congratulations again on your artistic success, your scholarship, your acceptance into college, and thanks for all you've done for Stokes Arts.
Thank you.
I'm here with Samantha Salvador from West Stokes High School. Welcome, Samantha. Is this your first time in the Apple Gallery?
This is my third time in a week.
Nice. So we have your piece here. Is this the first time you've exhibited your work?
Yes.
Congratulations. That is quite a feat because I know some artists and art teachers, are still looking for opportunities to exhibit. So here you are in a professional gallery. So tell me a little bit about how you made this piece and what statement you're trying to make.
So this is a surrealism piece from my last semester as a project, and it's basically about how a book can pull you into another kind of world. I made it with watercolor and ink.
Nice. And talk to me a little bit about the song that you've written on the book.
I picked a Spanish song, and it's about basically how we're all under one sun and that we should all be equal as people.
Sure. And what medium did you use?
Watercolor and ink.
Is that usually your medium of choice?
Yes.
Nice. So when did you become interested in art?
I've been doing art basically my whole life, but I got really serious about when I was 10 years old.
And how has your subjects changed, your subject matter, or even your skills over the years?
I started in an anime kind of style, but over the past couple of years I've become more realistic. So I've probably grown the most in realism.
And you're a sophomore, is that correct?
Yes.
So what are your sort of goals the next 2 years of high school as far as your art studies?
I'm probably going to continue throughout as many art courses as I can. I'm really enjoying it so far, so that's probably what I'm going to try to do.
Sounds great. And then do you already have some plans for after high school?
Yes, I plan on majoring in forensic science.
Forensic science, nice. So what got you interested in forensics?
Kind of like what I watched growing up, like Criminal Minds and stuff like that. Plus, I've read a lot about science and it's always interested in.
Sure. And of course, we all know this has been an unusual year. What have been some challenges in school, whether school in general or specifically in art?
It's been mostly how we interact with each other because especially with our critiques in art class, it's kind of hard having to look at a screen and also be able to connect with who you're talking to and like tell them what we like and what we think they should progress further into their piece.
Sure. But obviously, you persevered through it and you've had some successes, especially exhibiting your piece. So what are some of your other interests besides art and forensics?
I want to continue learning the Spanish language and I'm also very into reading, so I'm probably going to try and get some more books done this year.
Sounds great. Do you have a favorite artist?
Probably Frida Kahlo right now. She's inspirational to me.
Sure. And what specifically is inspirational?
Even through all the trouble she had with being like, paralyzed and stuff like that, she was still able to continue doing what she loved and getting into it because of what happened to her.
Sure. So if you had to give advice to a younger student, a younger artist, what are some things that you would tell them?
Not to compare your art to others because you're working at your own pace and you're learning at a different pace than others have with art, so you shouldn't be too hard on yourself.
That sounds great. Thank you for being here with us. Congratulations on your piece.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. So I'm here with West Stokes student Kaylee McLamry. Welcome to the Apple Gallery. Is this your first time at the Arts Place?
It is.
Wow, well welcome. Thank you. And is this your first time exhibiting your art?
Yes, actually.
That's really
I've
exciting.
never done that before.
Congratulations. So you haven't exhibited before, but I'm assuming you have a bit of a history in art.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about when you became interested in art and how your skills have improved.
Honestly, I've been into art for so long, I can't even tell you when it started, but it was definitely inspired by my dad. He did a lot of like little doodles and drawings, and I always looked up to him for that. Like he used to pause a cartoon and just draw the characters, and it was so cool, and I wanted to be like that, so yeah, started drawing.
That's great. And tell me about this piece that you have here in the show.
Okay, so this piece was inspired by obviously Jimi Hendrix, but a while back my dad had gotten me this this big like painting type thing from Guitar Center, and it was a picture of Jimi Hendrix, and at the time I had no idea who that was. So I started listening to him and I really like him, you know, he's awesome. So I wanted to do a psychedelic type of picture inspired by it. And yeah, I used color pencil and a little bit of nail polish remover actually, because surprisingly that can help blend colors together. So that was a cool learning process.
Sure. Well, and artists are creative, so there
Yeah.
you go. What other media do you use?
My main is color pencil. Love color pencil a lot. I do a little bit of acrylic paint. You know, just your basic graphite pencil and occasionally oil paint, but I need a little practice in that.
Sure. So when creating this piece, did you start from a video, a photo?
I started from a photo that I found online, and I just kind of edited a lot until I got something similar to this, and then, yeah, kind of drew whatever I edited.
And then what made you choose these particular colors and make it a little bit more abstract?
The prompt that we had was to do a psychedelic piece, and so when I think psychedelic, I think of atoms and colors. Colors are awesome. So yeah, I took the picture and I edited it into different colors and stuff, and I ended up getting that.
It's fantastic. It's such a strong piece. This was one of our advertising pieces for the show on the postcard. It's been in the newspaper. I totally see how the use of these primary colors, the reds, blues, and the yellows, really create strong light and shadow. And it's interesting to look at it from so many different angles. Do you often draw portraits?
I would say yes. I've drawn a couple of them. A couple that I have in my room of like Brendan Urie and Tyler Joseph that I did a while back. I do very much enjoy drawing portraits. I love realism a lot.
Sure. And you're a junior at West Oak, so do you have some plans or thoughts of what you might do after senior year?
I do plan on minoring in art at some point. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I thought about graphic design, but I've heard from my art teacher that she didn't like it that much, so I'll have to look into it.
Well, you have plenty of time to figure it out. And you said you've been in Stokes County for just a few years.
Yeah, about 3 years.
And tell us a little bit about your life traveling and things like that.
My dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot, and I have to say by far this is my favorite place that I've lived, besides Georgia. Georgia and here, love it so much.
Well, thank you, and welcome to Stokes County.
Thanks.
So obviously, the last couple of years have been unusual. What have been some challenges that you've gone through as a student or an artist?
Definitely art-wise, not being able to be at school for my art classes was very difficult, especially last year. I feel like my art class just kind of stopped doing things altogether. So once I got into this year though, we definitely started doing more things, and I started going back to school so I can get a lot more done. You know, motivation was difficult, especially getting myself to actually do art. Because I enjoy it, but at times it can be difficult to make yourself do it, you know?
Sure. So if you had to maybe give some advice to a young artist or a young student, what would you tell them?
One of my favorite things that I've heard was never feel limited to one style of art, because I feel like a lot of people feel like they, you know, once they do like animated drawings, they have to stick to animated drawings. Like I feel like you can do animated, psychedelic, and realism because they're all fun, you know?
Well, thank you again for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Welcome to Stokes County. Welcome to the Apple Gallery.
Thanks.
And now, our virtual tour of this Spring Arts Extravaganza. Here we're starting with some artwork from West Stokes High School, students 9th through 12th grade. They have collage, they have pencil drawing. You see some abstract art and portraiture. All the work is matted in so many unusual and unique ways. You have everything from squares to rectangular shapes. You can see the style of the students coming out as well as the influence of the teachers. You see precise realism, you see some borrowing of different textures, some very strong pieces. You have a mix of values as well as different kinds of texture related to darks and lights, and even some different tones and shades of the same color. We have a couple more pieces from West Stokes. Again, you can see some similar themes with portraiture. This is by a 10th grade student. We see lots of use of primary colors, some abstraction even in the realism. And another very strong portrait from a senior from West Stokes. A lot of use of darks and lights. You have some very dynamic diagonal lines. You have that yellow that just pops off the page, and you can almost feel the anguish in that stare as well as the positioning of the hands. We already had a student discuss this piece earlier. This really strong rectangular framed book with a very strong message from the song that you see written in the artwork. As you go through this show and tour it, you're continuing to see use of portraiture, you're continuing to see unique media, pastels, Even the artist drawing and working on a toned ground, not your traditional blank drawing paper or white drawing paper, but sometimes even adding the black paper with the white and having to think about the positive negative space in a different way. Even with that use of values, you get a very realistic depiction of that lion. And again, you're seeing some extremely strong artwork. In this show, we continue with the use of collage and mixed media, as well as some sculpture. You can see that even despite the challenges and the differences in this year, the students, created some portraits and some works of art that have a variety of sizes, a variety of shapes. They used all the different skills and techniques that were available to them. You have this zoomed in quality of really looking at the expression in some of the faces of the subject matter. You have use of color, and you walk away from some of these pieces wondering, where are they? What are they doing? What are they thinking? And then as we head toward this panel, you see use of a lot of portraiture, you see some digital art, you see influence by some famous artists, use of lights and darks, values, positive and negative space, just some creativity and overlapping and layering in some of the images that you see. Some of the students earlier spoke to us about use of collage even in photography and some of the tools that were available to them as they were doing some online learning. And as you walk through each piece, you can really see the style of the students, some of their ideas, use of the world around them, use of images and pictures that mean something to them, even creating their own space for photographing or creating some of their own imagery, using their imagination. And then again, you move from using your imagination to observation and kind of creating an optical illusion where they were sitting on a stool and then did some photo editing to get rid of it. And then this idea of characters and what you see and what you wear and what you're trying to say in the statement that you're trying to make. And again, a statement with some use of sculpture and 3D printing and just having some fun with the art media itself. Each individual piece obviously has a story of its own. Each individual piece really reflects on some basic artistic skill as well as how each student sees the world. You can see the portrait of the pet with mixed media. You can also see the drawing that shows a person being photographed or videoed through a device. You see a North Carolina image with the lighthouse and done with a stippling pen and ink technique. And the pencil portrait with a very unique gaze and leaving that background empty to make a statement. So as you virtually tour with us, we continue to invite you to come in and see this show in person. Each piece is unique in the way that it's matted and framed. Again, you have pieces that are very monochromatic or even just the use of blacks and white values. Other pieces that are abstract, even in the way that the images are photographed. You see some aspects of North Carolina history as well as Stokes County images and messages that each student has to say. You can walk through the show and you can feel the emotion that these students possibly experienced as they went through the challenges of this year and continue to create art. You can see in the subject matter how the students use the world around them and how they found composition in everyday objects, or how they used light and shadow to create their images or manipulate their photography. You can see the skill level that the students have developed during their high school years. And yes, we have seniors in the show, but we also have work from freshmen, and every piece from 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grader shows what they've been taught by their teacher, how they've grown, and all the different art skills that they've learned throughout their years. As you move towards upperclassmen, you can see the real sophistication in the composition, how they have framed their photography and drawings, the use of particular color schemes and shading. You can see the influence of digital art. You can see in some of these particular pieces the contrast of values as well as primary colors. You can see the manipulation of the images as well as the photo that was taken. And then, as we were discussing earlier, you can see the influence of architecture in some of these drawings, as well as the very precise study of folds and light and shadow to manipulate the area in which the student was working, the objects in which they were observing, and then sometimes just creating an image from their imagination. We have approximately 200 and some works of art in this exhibit. It's a very strong show that makes a statement as to the type of work that's happening in the high school art classrooms and the skill level that the students have developed.